This kind of relationship, do you like it? As long as they don't abandon the family, they are free to do whatever they want outside. With this agreement, the two of them are completely free. Vic and Melinda are a loving couple. They have a 7-year-old daughter, but as time passes, they felt that life had lost its passion, so they started to lose their morals. Soon Melinda was throwing parties at their house. Not only that, she invited a man. The two of them started making out in their own backyard. Vic, the husband, watched as his wife's wine glass shattered in her hand. His steel couldn't handle her being molested, so Vic went to Charlie, asked him if he ever heard of a man named Martin. Charlie says he's missing. Vic told him Martin had just spent the night with Melinda, and the next day, it was like he just disappeared. Charlie took a moment to think about it and left the party without looking back. But the next day, Melinda had a fight with Vic. She got a call from Charlie, said he was leaving the city. In order to win Charlie back, Melinda asked her to come over for dinner on Friday night. As a gesture of humility, Vic prepared dinner for the two of them that day. At the dinner table, Charlie was embarrassed by the way the three of them related to each other. Vic sat her in her chair. Vic even told a story about her and Melinda's love when they were young. Charlie was even more embarrassed. In order to ease the embarrassment, Melinda could only change the subject. She said that the couple had already made a 3-point agreement. No matter what they do, they will not interface. At this time, Charlie's heart was already very puzzled, thinking that these two couples really know how to play. Should I leave later or not? After dinner, Vic finally couldn't stand the thought of his wife making out with someone else in his own house. He was so furious that he decided to scare Charlie away.
You can't apologize for that, Joe. I did kill Martin McRae. I hit him with a hammer. Look at that. Your Uber's here.
I didn't order one.
I did.
Maybe she lost her patience with Charlie. Melinda didn't hold Charlie back this time. A few days later, the family went to a party. They met a writer named Don. Don's wife, Linda, seemed interested in Vic. She asked Vic what he did for a living. Before Vic could answer, his wife Melinda started talking. And then the more Vic looked at Linda, the more he liked her. So he invited Linda to dance. Melinda saw her husband flirting with another woman. Her heart was suddenly filled with sadness, as if something had been taken away from her. On the way back, Melinda asked Vic if Linda was prettier than she was. In order to win back the game, Vic answered in the affirmative. He is very attractive.
She's very attractive, don't you think?
Yeah, I guess so.
Melinda unbuckled her seatbelt. She was going to teach her husband a lesson. Vic thought that after this, that their lives would be back on track, but he soon realized that he had underestimated his wife, because that day, Vic saw his wife dating a piano teacher again. Early the next morning, when Melinda came home drunk, Vic asked him why he stayed out all night, even though he already knew the answer. It was a different story when it came out of Melinda's mouth. Melinda's words were a different story. Melinda went so far as to describe to her husband all the details of her last night with her piano teacher, on the principle that we are all adults. Vic once again held back, but what he didn't expect was, the next day when he was taking his daughter to school, he saw the piano teacher walking in the direction of his house with flowers in her hand. When he got home, Vic couldn't stand it any longer. The man saw his wife playing with another man in the pool. Although the man was on the verge of a violent outburst, there was nothing he could do, because husband and wife have agreed not to interface in each other's private lives. Soon everyone was out of the pool. The only people in the pool were Vian and his wife's new piano teacher. I don't know how long it took, but when Melinda looked at the pool again, Melinda looked into the pool again and screamed. The piano teacher had already drowned in the pool. Soon the police came to the scene and took the piano teacher's body away. Melinda's wife said that her husband was the murderer. Everyone thought Melinda was insane, but she was still too excited.
I'm not fucking upset! You fucking killed him!
There was no evidence, so the police soon left. Back home, Vic asked his wife if he had killed the piano teacher. Aren't you afraid of me?
No,
Why not?
because I'm the thing you killed for.
The next day, in order to continue his life and style, his wife Melinda found another young man. Vic looked at the street, his wife and that strange man as if they were lovers. His eyes gradually became cold. At night, his wife held the phone for 3 hours, hearing that the two of them were planning a trip to Hawaii. This made Vic feel that the green grass above his head was a little bit greener. In order to break their plans, Vic took the initiative to invite his wife's new lover to their home. When Melinda saw him, she ran over and gave him a big hug. After the introduction, Vic learned that the man's name was David. He and his wife have known each other for a long time, and they had been in love before. Listening to their flirtatious conversation, Vic felt a surge of anger coming out, but he held his tongue. After dinner, Melinda went up to the second floor with David. I don't know what happened upstairs. There was a crackling sound. The time came a few days later. Dick drove up to David and said his wife had invited him to the countryside. David sensed something was wrong, but he got in the car. When he got to the countryside, David walked ahead, looking for Melinda, but all he got was a thrown rock. Dick saw that the blow didn't send David away. He picked up a bigger rock and hit him hard. With great inertia, David rolled down the hill. In order to destroy his body, Dick took out David's cell phone and wallet. Then he pressed a huge stone on his chest and dragged him into the river. He thought that everything would go unnoticed, but what Vic didn't expect, the next day, the body surfaced, and his wife and daughter were by the river. Wives kept hitting on young men. The husband looked at his wife, who was so bold. He hated the man who approached his wife with a passion. Every time his wife spends the night with a freshman, those men would seem to have disappeared. That's right, the husband killed all the men who slept with his daughter-in-law. That day, he had just sunk a man's body to the bottom of the river. When he came home, he saw his wife and daughter playing on the sofa. Melinda suddenly suggested a picnic. Vic agreed, but what he didn't expect was that the place his wife chose was the same woods where he dumped the body. Vic, in order not to arouse his wife's suspicion, Vic still brought his wife and son here. Everything was in perfect harmony. Vic and his wife were reminiscing about the good times when they were young, but at that moment, his daughter suddenly yelled out her father's name. Realizing that her daughter was by the river, Dick took her away immediately. When he looked back, David's body had surfaced, so he was going to return early the next morning to dispose of the body. On the way back, Melinda said she had left her red scarf at the picnic site. Early the next morning, Dick rode his bike back to the area. He didn't have the heart to look for the scarf. He used a stick to push the body into the river again. While he was trying to fix the body further, Don, the rider from before, happened to pass by. He asked him what he was doing. Dick lied and said he was just looking for his wife's scarf. Don happens to find one. He held it up and asked if it was the right one. Then he came down and asked him what he was doing with the stick. Watching Don get closer and closer, Dick just felt like he was sweating all over. He didn't know what to say. At that moment, the body surfaced. Don turned around and ran, but the ground was too slippery. He felt twice before coming to the shore. In order to prevent Don from calling the police, Dick was right behind him. At the same time, at home, his wife saw Vic suddenly disappeared. She knew he was looking for a scarf for himself, but then Melinda realized that David's wallet was in her husband's room. This made Melinda realize something. He thought about it and started to pack his bags to leave, but the daughter thought her mom and dad were fighting to leave the house, so she pushed the suitcase into the pool. On the other side of the pool, Don ran as hard as he could. He finally made it to the car. He opened the door and put his foot in the gas tank. Vic had to chase after him on his bike. Don was so happy to see Vic pedaling his bike behind him. Don was so happy. He seems to have an idea for his next book. He's going to write a book about it, and it's going to sell like hotcakes. Then he took out his cell phone and planned to tell his wife, but the road was too bumpy. He dropped his cell phone in the car. At that moment, Vic came out of the road on his bike. Don reflexively avoided himself, and then he and his bike plunged into the woods. With the sound of a crash, Don went off the cliff. Vic watched it all and thought, this is a godsend. He went home happy, and when he turned around, he saw his wife looking at him with an evil grin on her face. Then Melinda turned around and went upstairs and burned David's wallet to the ground. It's true that the real hunter always appears as the hunted. It turns out that for a wife, seeing her husband kill for her because he loved her, that was Melinda's greatest satisfaction.